legacy of the red, white, and blue.
It's time for Veterans Issues, the show that brings you information about veterans, military, and their family. Now here's your host, Ken Rollins.
Welcome to Veterans Issues. Ken Rollins here, and I'm about to drop my paper. It's good to have you here on a cold day. I tell you, it's cold outside. It's snowing as we do this. Today's guest is a 97-year-old World War II veteran named Frank Turner. When you come back, we're going to meet him. Stay where you are. Welcome back into Veterans Issues. Appreciate you tuning in today. Today's guest is a World War II veteran. I'm meeting him for the first time. He's 97 years young. And he's been a lot of places, done a lot of things. Anybody that's lived that long has seen a lot of things we haven't seen. So I want you to welcome to the show, Frank Turner. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Good to have you on here. I want that cane. I said, well, anybody out there want to buy a good cane? That's a nice one. Frank, I never had met you, but are you from here?
Yes.
Where around here?
Old Davistown.
Where?
Old Davistown, where I was born.
Davistown.
Yeah. I live in Orange City now.
Yeah, across from my church out there.
Yeah.
Well, where's Davistown located?
You know where Packasac's at out there?
Yeah.
This road goes south, just a little ways from where the veterinarian place is there.
Mm-hmm.
I was born over there about a mile over there.
So you stayed right in your...
Stayed right in there.
Yeah, but you've been a lot of places, hadn't you?
Well, yes.
When you went into service, we were talking outside there a little bit. When you joined, did you join or did they draft you?
Drafted.
Drafted. Oh, you didn't want to go.
Well, I didn't
Have a choice.
I didn't have no choice, but I never did try to get out of it.
Yeah. And you went in, drafted in the Army.
Yes.
Well, at some point you was in something to do with the Air Corps, Air Force, or what was it? How'd that work?
Well, I went through the basic training in Signal Corps, and I went to Pendleton, Oregon, went to a Signal Corps outfit, but they didn't take me with them because they said I was overage. Then I went picked up in the transportation, Air Service Transportation Company.
And where'd you go from there?
Well, I stayed there for a long time.
Up in Oregon?
Yeah, in Oregon. And then I went to Oklahoma, Tinker Field. Stayed there just a short time, went to Kansas, come back to Oklahoma again, and then went from there to Seattle, Washington, where I got on the boat to go overseas.
What was you doing during that period of time? What was you doing? What kind of work was you doing?
We were just working at anything that our commanding officer would find for us to do. He kept us busy.
Step and fetch it.
Yeah.
Step and fetch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. When we was at Tinker Field in Oklahoma, we was laying steel matting out in the cotton field to park the planes on. When they come back from overseas, we had been in the outfit with that group of planes. I don't know, they called them the Flying
Fortress.
Yeah, and I don't know what outfit, where they went from there, but they did land back at Oklahoma when their mission was over in Europe.
At Tinker Air Force Base.
Yeah.
And you said you laid that, we call it pierced armored planking, I think it was. That metal, you laid the runway, just put it in the cotton field?
Yeah, just for them to park the planes on.
Okay. Well, over in Vietnam, they used them as a runway.
Sure, yeah.
I've seen the Phantom jets, the
Yeah.
F-4 Phantoms take off on them. So you did it. Then where'd you go from Oregon?
From Oregon, well, we went to Oklahoma.
Oh, yeah, that's right you went. Where'd you go from there?
I went to Great Bend, Kansas.
What's out there?
Uh,
What's in Kansas?
Oh, there's a lot in Kansas. There's a lot in Kansas there.
I mean,
It's
for
a-
military,
It's an air base.
Yeah.
Air base. We stayed there so long they put up a sign on the water went a place across there, around there. 358 Service Group, Port of Embarkation. And we packed our stuff while we were in Kansas.
Yeah.
And we stayed there until we left there and went to Washington,
Washington State or Washington, D.C.?
Washington, D.C.
Okay.
And I went to St. Louis. That's where the ships docked and ships.
Okay.
That's where we went.
Well, you had they said port of embarkation, or people don't out there, some of them will know what that is, but that's where you go out, folks. That's where you leave from.
Yeah.
So that was a joke, but
Yeah.
that's pretty good. When you left on the ship, was it a troop ship or just
Yeah,
a ship?
yeah.
Okay.
Troop ship.
And I told you I was on there 28 days, and you taught me. How many days did you say you was out there?
37 days.
37 days. Oh, the mercy. What'd you do? Did you have fun?
No fun.
People don't have any idea what it's like to ride for 25, 30 days across the ocean on a ship with a bunch of GIs and looking at nothing but water and a metal deck. And then you had a real big old bed, didn't you?
Yeah,
I'm messing with it, folks. The bed you got's about that wide. It folds down. And when you get out of it, you got to fold it back up. And you go down the hallways of the plane. You have to the ship have to turn sideways to get down through there to get something to eat. And so y'all got to know each other real close after 38 days.
we stayed in one place 7 days and didn't move.
Where was that at?
That was one of the islands. I can't remember just which one it was. There was nothing there. It was just an island.
Yeah, bet they wouldn't let you off the ship either, would
No.
they? Yeah.
Well, there wasn't anything to do off the ship.
Well, we landed in the Philippines, and had to sit there for 3 days, and they wouldn't let any of us off the ship for 3 days. So. And there was plenty to do. You could see the people on the beach, but they wouldn't let us off.
There was nobody on that island at all.
Oh, I found you a coconut, like what's that skipper and I can't even think of the guy's name that you washed ashore, but Gilligan's Island. Island. That's about what. Yeah. But so you was out there 38 days, and where did you go after you left there, that little island?
We went on our way on to Tinian Island.
Tinian Island.
Didn't stop until we got off the boat there.
And we're going to talk a lot about Tinian Island. I did not know what the name of that island was. If I can get the control room to throw up a picture right quick, we're down to about a minute in this part of the show, and I can show that island when he's talking about Tinian Island. You get a picture. There's the island right there. How long is that island?
10 miles long.
10 miles long, and how wide?
5 miles wide.
Well, that's a big one, ain't it? That's a metropolitan Tinian Island. And you may show that other shot there while we got him up there in the control room. That's that young fellow we're talking about right there. You remember that? You remember that picture?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're talking about Tinian Island, a very small island. And where do you call it? Where was it located?
It was in the Asiatic Pacific Theater.
Asiatic. Okay.
Asiatic Pacific Theater.
That's I never had heard that name.
There's 17 islands in that group of islands.
Yeah. You got a friend that's here with you today, Art Savellis. He's going to be on the show here one day, and I'm going to have him talk about it. He knew all about that, but I didn't, and I don't like that people know so much, and I don't know nothing.
What?
But he was very familiar with it. But yeah, we're going to go to a break. Come back, stay right there. We're going to have more with Frank when we get back here. Stay tuned. Get you a pen. Be right back. Welcome back to Veterans Issues. Ken Rollins, and we're talking with my guest today. His name is Frank Turner. He's a World War II veteran, greatest generation. He's 97 years young. That's right, 97, the 9-7. And when we left, Frank, we was talking about Tinian Island. You just got there now that small island. What was the purpose of the military being on that island?
It was the largest sugar-producing island in the Pacific.
Wait a minute, it wasn't big enough for sugar. Sugar cubes.
It was the largest one there was.
Really?
They had Koreans was the labor there in the sugar fields.
Was there a battle that took place on that island?
Was what?
A battle.
Not that I know.
Okay. So you were there. You were there what, for training or
No, I was there to
building?
I was there to service the group that was doing the work of the getting the bomb
Okay.
loaded and dropped. We helped to pick up the what the can that they used. I can't think of what it was, but we worked with the Air Force. We serviced the bomb group.
Now, for those that when they say the bomb, there's a lot of bomb, but that was the bomb, the Enola Gay,
Yeah,
the one that dropped in over Japan.
yeah.
But when you were just working there, you didn't have any idea that was what they were doing. You were just helping that group.
I was just to end the wars. What all thing that we know that we were doing was just something to end the war,
Yeah.
and that's that's what's done. I mean, that's what's done when the bomb was dropped. The war was over.
Well, I was looking through some of your pictures there, and there was a church. Y'all built a church there. Was you part of that?
No, I was just.
But you're somebody there in the.
Yeah, I guess the CPs built it.
Yeah.
The Army may have built it. I don't know.
So you was working with that group of Air Force people that was going over to bomb Japan.
Yeah.
And this was what, 1943, 44 or something?
44, I guess.
Yeah.
Or maybe 45. I don't remember just which. I got back in 46.
Well, you went into service what year?
42.
42. And then you got out in 46.
Yeah.
Okay, nearly 4 years, I said. That was, well, when you left, where did you go after Tennant Island? When I'm trying to get a track of your service, where all you
Come
went.
back to California.
Okay, that's weird. That's about worse than going on into Germany or so. So what did you do there in California?
We didn't do anything.
Just hung out?
We just got a meal one night, stay there, and 2 meals, and on the train and went north up to the long ways, and then had troops that was in them states up there. And when we turned south, went to Camp Shelby, Mississippi.
Oh, Lord.
Before we was discharged.
How long was you down there? Was you not very long?
Not very long.
Good, because they got rattlesnakes down there big as mules. That's a bad place. When you left Camp Shelby, what'd you do? Come back. When you left Camp Shelby, did you come back to Alabama then?
Yeah, I come on the bus back to Anniston.
Yeah. And then what'd you do?
I went home.
And went to work?
Yes, I sure did.
I mean, what did you do? What kind of
I
work?
worked back to my job at the depot that I had when I left,
What was that?
working in the ammunition. I started off in the ammunition area and wound up in transportation.
Maybe doggone. See, I worked out there, but when did you leave the depot? You remember?
Well, I stayed 36 years, left in 46, I believe.
Oh, Lordy mercy. That was, you'd had to leave later than that.
Yeah.
You got it. You went over there in 46.
Yeah, that's right.
So
I
did you
can't-
retire out there?
Yes, I
So
retired.
about 60 something, I guess.
Yes, 36 years for how long I
Yeah,
worked.
well, 70. Yeah, that's quite a contrast to come from over there, and people don't realize back in that day, and you was telling me something about one of the islands where you went into Saucer Cave, and there's still a bunch of Japanese in the cave where a flamethrower
No, I didn't go in there. I just went up on
on the hill.
bank on the side to look over in it.
Mhm.
That was where we landed at, where we pitched a pup tent and stayed there the first night. And the next days when we went somewhere else
Yeah,
on the island.
but that's a little bit scary, wasn't it?
wasn't no good feeling.
Yeah, when you got a country boy from Alabama, they all that stuff is strange to us, including that trip on that ship. Because people's never done that on the ship that long, don't know what I'm talking about. Because rough seas, and somebody asked us outside, did people get sick? Oh yeah, they got sick. Even the pros, even the Navy guys got sick on there.
90% of the whole ship was sick at the same time.
Yeah, but we got people that's watching the show, probably eating dinner, so we won't go into all the details. But but it is it's a rough ride in the China Sea. I can attest to it.
Yeah.
It was rough. Well, you've seen a lot in 97 years compared to what it was 20 years ago. What do you think about today's time? Without getting into politics, what do you think about our country?
I don't know what's going to happen.
I don't either.
I don't know how in the world that anybody can straighten out what is before us now.
Yeah. When we say, and people have heard me say it's the worst I've seen in over 70 years I've been on this earth, they don't realize what I'm talking about, because I've seen it bad, but I've never seen us in the condition we're in right now, especially about our military, the way they laugh at us. And we used to be the most feared and respected country in the world. Now we kind of a laughing stock. And when I see somebody like you that been here that long, you say it's bad. Well, you've seen a lot, so it is not. It's not a good time for America then. What do you think when you went in the military? What do you think they did for you? What did you get out of it? Did you grow up?
Well, I've been grown, I think, just about all my life.
Yeah.
My father died when I was young, and I've had to work hard all my life.
Did you ever farm?
All my life.
Share crop?
Yes. Sharecrop.
Done a lot of sharing and a little bit of cropping.
Yeah. Put out a lot and received a little.
That's it. Yeah, I got a fellow on here that talked about that a lot, how his the sharecropper and the man got everything, you got what was left over, that was hard work. These people talk about hard work nowadays. They don't know.
When I got out, I worked at my job, but I went back to farming the same way.
We got 30 seconds left. Just tell me what you would like for to be remembered at when we pass through this world. How would you like to be remembered?
I hope I can see it a better place for our younger generation to be raised up in.
Yeah.
I have a lot of family. And I just can't imagine what can happen to them and what's going to happen if things are not changed.
Well, it's been an honor to have you on the show.
Thank you.
And I appreciate you so much. Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
We got to go to a break, come back. I got news you can use, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to Veterans Issues. Appreciate Mr. Turner coming on and doing the show today. Hope you got something out of that. I do, just being around people. That's better than any book you can open right there, folks. He's a real deal, and those are the greatest generation. I had a bulletin came out, and I'll see if I can get it for you. It was the State of Alabama Veterans Network's got some jobs. If you're out there and you know somebody at around the Fort Rucker military base down there in Dothan, they are hiring. Anniston Army Depot is hiring. These are for the decommissioned storage base, level 2 clearance. And these are for traveling type jobs. So if you're interested in these jobs, I've got the contact information here, and I'll be glad to furnish it to you. We'll keep it. So you give me a call if you're interested in all those, the Fort Rucker or at the Anniston Army Depot, in those traveling jobs. I mean, you can go, you may end up in Kuwait, who knows? I don't know where they are. It didn't say. The new parking deck for over in Birmingham at the VA hospital is 2415 7th Avenue South, 2415 7th Avenue South. And I'm going to have the director over here in a couple of weeks, Mr. Smith, Thomas Smith. He's going to come over and do the show, and he'll probably bring Jeff Hester with him, who's a public affairs guy. and we got a lot of things to talk about over there. And I got to tell you this. I told you about it before. They did their first kidney transplant at the Birmingham VA, and it was successful. That's a great thing to have something in this area that they can do that with the help of UAB. They did their first transplant at the Birmingham VA several weeks ago, and I have not heard any update. The last I heard, the veteran was doing excellent. So anyhow, we're let's see. The Kia store, I forgot to tell you about that. The Kia stores in Anniston and Gadsden give 20% off to veterans and first responders up until the 28th of February. So take advantage of that. And it's great people down there, and they take care of the veterans, but not just the veterans, but the first responders and all of those folks. So 20% off your parts and labor. And let's see, I think I got 20, 30 minutes back in the control room. The bill that we talked about, was worried about, the veterans earmarking bill, has been pulled back, so we don't have to worry about that. I do have one called HB 92. You want to research that on your computer, HB 92. If you're retired military or you're retired from the civil service, you need to look that bill up and see what it's going to do to you. HB 92. We're going to be talking. I'm going to have somebody on here a week after next talking about that particular bill. So stay on top of that, because it's going to affect a lot of us that are retired. So let me see what I got out here. If you HMR Services is still hiring down at the home down there, HMRveteranservices.com. So yeah, I don't know how much time we got. How much we got? Oh Lord, she's rushing me to death today, folks. This is the bad part of the show. I have to tell you about. 22 veterans took their own lives yesterday. 22 would take their life today, and there are ways that we're going to have that. I'm going to have some pastors come on here. We're going to talk about different things that you can do in your church for those that are suffering here in the community that you might not know they're suffering, but a veteran that's coming home, we can't allow that to happen. So we got to do something for our veterans. And this week, I want to give them a salute out that I give every week to somebody real important. And this guy is real important because he was a guest today, and I admire him for being one of those 97-year-old World War II veterans. Frank Turner, this salute's for you, my friend.